Okay, so we are beginning our online international education fair and the webinar is about to start. I can see we have about 100 students. I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope this is going to be a useful information when you're going to be attending till the end of the webinar. You will be able to learn about the scholarships, application fee waivers, the COVID-19 updates, and many more. So watch till the end and ask any question that you have. I hope it's going to be worth. Thanks.
Good afternoon, all of you. My name is Vivek Kishore Verma. I am the Chief Sales Officer for Texila American University. Thanks to Study Metro that you gave us an opportunity to present virtually. Thankfully, we being one of the pioneer into the medical education as well as into distance learning across the world, we have also used the technology to the fullest to support students from more than 70 plus countries during this crisis of COVID-19. So I'll like to present a part about my university, Texila American University, mainly for the aspirants who are looking forward to join a medical program abroad. But before going into that, I like to devote my presentation about the impact which this COVID-19 is definitely going to have to make on international education. I was listening to the previous presentation also, and I realized that a lot of universities from all across the world are definitely pitching to India for getting students from here, as like we are also doing. So in this current scenario, you being students, whether you want to select for an MB, for a study abroad option now, what are the points you are going to take care of? Definitely, you and your parents must be having some lot of thoughts in their mind that when the international restrictions are going to ease up, when you can travel, is it safe to travel? What are the questions you should keep into the mind before you travel? All those things I like to cover up, mainly with some data and facts which can help you to take a decision. For us, as we all know that the NEET examination has been postponed and the new date is yet to come. So we still have some time, all of us, to take a decision on this MBBS. Coming to the point mainly, we all know that the learners all across the world definitely have been impacted globally due to this COVID situation. And most of the international destination of the studies, whether for MBBS, whether it has been China, whether it has been the European countries, have been severely impacted to an extent that definitely there'll be a delay in the admission cycle in most of these countries. There are a lot of students. We all know that almost 20,000 to 25,000 students travel each year from India to study MBBS in countries which are bordering India or which are far off from India. Okay, and there are a lot of deciding factors for them, whether it has been the price, whether it has been the quality, whether it has been the FMG pass percentage. All those things are there. So, but now the priority of all those factors are definitely, is it safe for me to go to a particular country to study medicine, or is it really worth to study medicine or not? These all points definitely has to be understood by all of us, and you being a student or a parent who have been attending this webinar definitely have to understand this thing, that when should you travel, is it safe to travel? Those all points we have to look into that. And if you look into the global monitoring of the school closure caused by COVID-19, even we have been also impacted definitely. Uh, that most of the schools and institutions across the world have postponed their academic cycle, has paused their examination, or they are not conducting the academic activity, or if they are conducting, they are conducting using a lot of innovative ways. In India, you all know that there are a lot of online sessions happening within a lot of institutions across. But there are a lot of thoughts also that whether this online education for now, when the academic session has been disturbed by COVID-19, is possible in a medical education or not. I would say yes, it is possible for some time, because definitely even we are also supporting all our students who are doing medicine at our end in multiple campuses we have across the world by using different simulation softwares which are provided by world-renowned providers across the world. And our students are able to definitely attend their sessions and interact with the faculty members as they used to do it physically. Its only thing is that some of the practical sessions they will be completing once they are back on the campus. So how institution is supporting their students in the terms of a COVID or in the times of a COVID is very, very important. And we at Texila has kept that thing in mind, and we supported all our students in continuing with the academic studies. Now the next point goes exactly that how does this pandemic affect our study abroad option? We all know that once we are there in this pandemic, there's no face-to-face teaching or exams happening. Even a lot of them schedules have been switched. Almost 50% has been moved into an online mode. There are restrictions on immigration. Let's say today, if you want to go to UK and US, or if you want to go to Germany or Spain or France, you can't travel because there are a lot of restrictions, both from the traveling country, let's say from India, as well as from the recipient country, let's say the country you want to travel. So those all restrictions will be there definitely for some time to come, maybe in a 1 to 2 months of a time also. Then there'll be a lot of delay in the start days of some of these courses until the following semester. Almost it is expected there'll be an expected delay of 19% into the start of the academic semester. Semesters which may be starting in September may not start in September, may start somewhere in October or November, depending upon the situation. Admission procedures and application deadlines are also going to change, so you definitely have to keep that in mind before you take a final decision. And definitely you will be having a lot of deadlines being changed in terms of how it is going to work around in terms of the intake, whether the intake is going to happen this year or is it going to be postponed to next year. So those all points you'll have to understand before you take it up your final decision. So these are some of the probable effect which we may look into, which will be happening if it definitely this year in terms of your study abroad option. Coming to one of the main point is that what will be the scenario post COVID-19 is also important. You have seen, you have heard news about hundreds and thousands of students coming back from China, coming back from Ukraine, or coming back from even other countries where you were doing different kinds of program, whether it's a master's program or whether it has been a medical program also. We all knew that what happened in Wuhan and what happened in different cities of China and how the students have to come back. And some of the country students were not also able to come back. We have you all heard about the news that a lot of students from our neighboring countries were not able to come back to the country. So these all things are there, and but is it going to really impact on the demand of this MBBS is a point. And how that country is going to be affected, and definitely how that country is going to recover back post COVID-19 for this MBBS education is also a point. Will the economy or the economic condition of their country be still strong enough to support the high quality of the education required for MBBS is also a question which you should definitely get an answer to. The economic growth of the country in the coming few years, is it good enough to support their own domestic demand, or is it good enough to have international students coming to their country is a point. What will be the social factor which will impact the safety and security of international students in those countries up is a point you have to understand. Will there be a visa assurance or for international students to travel in those countries is a point. There's something I would like to some point I like to bring into the notice of all you guys is that as per IMF, the recent study which just came this week, the world is going into a recession and almost the entire economy is going to have a shrink of -3% approximately. Okay, but thankfully there are few countries which we may not count into a very developed country will not be in recession, and we are proud to say that yes, in India still the IMF projects that we'll be having approximately 2% of a GDP growth within this year. Okay, but there is a country which is expecting a GDP growth of 86% despite the impact of COVID. There is a country which is still going to have an economic growth of 52.8% in 2020 despite the world facing the worst due to this coronavirus. and that country is Guyana, where Texila American University is located. If you look into the recent IMF report which has been published, there are hardly two countries across the world which are going to get this kind of a growth percentage in this year, and they are the least affected country from this COVID-19, though they are bordering some of the worst affected countries in the world. I'm talking about Guyana. Currently in Guyana, there are only 63 cases of COVID-19, okay, where 9 has already recovered of it. The Guyana is sharing a border and a close proximity with the United States of America, which is the worst affected country in the world. That's one. So this definitely boosts our confidence as one of the university promoter that yes, our students who will be coming to our campus are going to be safe and sound, and we have enough capacity and the country is having enough capacity to sustain the economic growth, and definitely it is going to be an envy to all the neighboring countries who are all suffering due to this economic recession. And post COVID-19, definitely they'll be having a lot of problems coming into social insecurity, though they may pose themselves as one of the developed countries in the world, but all the developed countries in the world currently are facing a problem. So we should be very, very careful in selecting where we want to go. That's one point. Second thing is that which I was discussing about, that what will be the scenario of healthcare education post COVID-19. We all know that definitely WHO has also been talking about that doctors are in shortages across the world pre COVID-19 also, but after this COVID-19, definitely world needs more doctor. So the simple thing is that if you are thinking to do an engineering program and you are having a PCB, now your prospect of becoming a successful doctor is much more stronger, because each and every country, whether it is India, whether it is USA, whether it is France, Spain, Guyana, China, all these countries are going to spend now more on their healthcare facility, right from the rural to the urban areas. It means that all the countries across the world are going to have more expenditure on the healthcare sector, hence they will need more doctors. Okay, so this brings to a point that is the country having enough medical universities to support this surge in the demand of qualified doctors in the country? I would say no. India still have some issues. The current government have given the private partnership model in which they are talking about every district is going to have a medical university. Okay, but it's far, definitely we are not going to get that in the recent time or in 2 or 3 years of a time. It's going to take some time. So in that case, how is India going to fulfill the demand of our doctors? They will fulfill the demand of the doctors only if our students travel to other countries where getting an MBBS degree is within their reach. It is safe for them to travel. The country is safe and good enough for them to have the best quality of the education, and then they can come back and definitely contribute to the development of India also. So I'll now talk more about our university, which is Texila American University. As I told you, Texila American University is located in Guyana. Guyana is one of the Southern American countries, and as I informed you, this country is seeing an enormous economic growth due to the oil which has been discovered, which is understood to be much more than Venezuela, much more than Saudi Arabia also. That's one of the main reason why this country is seeing a massive economic development, and it's an envy uh, to the eyes of all other oil producing countries across the world. Texila American University was established in the year 2010. Sorry.
Uh,
And-
Vivek, I'm really sorry to interrupt. If you can just wrap it up with the pointers.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot for that. So it was established in the year 2010, and we are mainly a consortium of university campuses across the world. We have currently two campuses, one in Southern America, the other one is in Africa. The Southern American campus is mainly having students coming from India as well as from almost 40 other countries. On the campus, we have already graduated almost 6 batches. So the university is recognized and affiliated by most of the international bodies to make it much more easier for the international students to definitely complete their MBBS and practice in the base countries, or if they want to go and practice into any other country, let's say USA or any other country, they can definitely go and practice it there. Our program, what we are offering, is a 5 years Doctor of Medicine program. The 5-year Doctor of Medicine program is mainly split into preclinical and the clinical. So the clinical, which is the last 2 years of our medicine programs, are mainly been conducted either in Guyana or in USA. We have tied up with one of the topmost hospitals in USA, which is the Tizon Medical Center, where our students are able to do the medicine program also. So this is the structure of the program. What we have mainly pre-medical for the first year, preclinical for the second and third year, and fourth and fifth year we are having in Guyana as well as in USA also. So the basic eligibility requirement what we are looking into is definitely we are looking into a minimum passing percentage in PCB as per devised by Medical Council of India, and NEET qualification which we are looking into. If you are from other medical universities looking for a transfer at our campus, we are open for the credit transfer also. So this is what we have. Compared to all other universities, we have our own hostel. We have a national student population coming from different countries, including Caribbean countries, including India. Even we have students coming from Middle East, from Africa, from US, from Brazil, from Canada also, all doing the medicine program. Student resources and all of the international quality. Definitely we have one of the best of the labs what we have there, and as compared to most of the infrastructure, we are a specialized medical university having its own kind of a laboratory which helps us students to become a successful doctor once they are passing out from here. We have our boys and girls hostel also just associated with our campus. We provide an excellent facility there with the entire fooding. Even you can have Indian fooding there, continental fooding there. And Guyana is mainly one of the only English-speaking country in the Southern American continent. So it makes it very easier for the Indian students to accommodate at our campus there. If you look into in this map, Guyana is very closely located nearby to Brazil, and definitely it's very nearby to USA also. It is not an island, it is a mainland country in the Southern American continent. So keep that in mind. We are definitely recognized by Medical Council of India. We have an inbuilt, we have a lot of curriculum things which we can discuss with you. Maybe if you have any queries on the curriculum and how we support our students to become a successful doctor, you can definitely place up your queries with Study Metro. They can support you in giving up the options and all the answers. We can help you in that.
So this brings us to the end of the webinar. I hope the information that you have gained today is going to be useful for you for making an application to the university. If you still have any question or any query about applying to the university, then you contact one of the Study Metro representative. Thank you so much again for joining this webinar. Have a good one.